What changed the most in bringing Churchill to the screen? What did you not convey about him that you would have liked to?
There's a really fine line between artistic license, I think, and artistic licentiousness. And there's, you know, history is a lousy filmmaker. It doesn't give you all the ingredients you need, and no story will quite fulfill that 3-act structure, as Aaron's saying. However, you're compelled to apply your imagination to a real-life story, and if you don't, it will be inert, or it will be just a sequence like vast action sequences of the known, and it won't tell you anything we don't already know from documentaries.
Hitler will not insist on outrageous terms. He will know his own weaknesses. He will be reasonable.
When will the lesson be learned? When will the lesson be learned? How many more dictators must be wooed, appeased, good God, given him mixed privileges, before we learn? You cannot reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth.
However, there's a really fine line, because if you say that Napoleon won the Battle of Waterloo, your movie collapses. The tolerances of history are very similar to the tolerances of audiences. And that if you breach that faith, and you've got that before your movie starts based on a true story, and you go over that red line, which is indistinct, and every writer will draw it in a different place, and you're really bravely saying, I'm going to go impressionistic with my portraits. I dared not do that with Winston Churchill. You know, he's too beloved, he's too iconic. You can't do it with Lincoln.
I agree, and
you know what I mean?
you know, I wouldn't if I were writing All the President's Men.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make anything up about the fall of a president of the United States.
When you go into a story, do you know the ending in advance? When you start writing?
Well, I think you ought to, in a perfect world, because everything is the rest of the writing work then becomes a preparation for that perfect ending. I often find that writers who disavow the importance of an ending are just not very good at endings. And so they fudge it and they try to raise the quality of other elements of storytelling. But to me, it's critical to know what you're working towards, so that you can fade and faint away from that and take the audience away and mislead and do all those just craft things. Our role, I think, is to entertain and to inform. A large part of our work is research and trying to look at both parts of any argument. The old dialectic that goes back to Plato showed two sides of an argument. And it's one of my big main ambitions is to enter complex situations where there seems to be one obvious answer and put two opposing ideas into conflict. And that's really the seed of all drama, really. And what happens and the phenomena that result from that collision is not in our control. And I think drama's best when it shows the effects of that collision and then stands back and allows the audience to make a sort of judgment.
What do you mean it's not in your control?
You may not be happy as the writer with what the phenomena that results from these ideas. So you might enter a project thinking, well, I have this fixed position and this is my object of this particular project. And then when you create an antagonist and you charge that antagonist with ideas that are virile and strong and convincing, you start to unhinge and crack open your own certainties. And when you've done your job really well, as a writer, the perfect sort of emotional state to end up in is uncertainty yourself.
You're throwing a dinner party, and you're allowed to have 3 guests. Who would they be? And
Any time period? Any time period. And would they be writers?
Well, I'd have to have Churchill to find out how close I got.
Yeah.
Do you want him to have seen your movie or not?
Preferably not.
Okay.
No.
Do you think he would have liked the movie?
Well, I had the experience of doing this Stephen Hawking movie, and we showed the movie to Stephen. I was terribly anxious about what he would say, and he dialed in his response. He twitches his cheek, there's a camera on his cheek, and he said, "Broadly true."
Oh, fair enough.
That worked.
So I'd have Mr. Churchill. I'd have William Shakespeare. And I would say to William, I would say to William, did you write all those plays?
Yes.
I want to know whether he wrote all those plays.
Exactly. Enough said.
Yeah, right?
Ready?
Okay, quiet on set.
And I look down the lens.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hi, my name is Darren Aronofsky.
I'm Aaron Sorkin.
Emma Stone.
Allison Janney.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching The Hollywood Reporter.
Thanks for watching The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter on YouTube.